We got 3 hunters on team 1, and normally we have a rule of only 3 of each class, but 2 of them are survival. And 1 is a range beast mastery. So I feel like range, I mean, they're all kite nowadays, right? But I feel like because 2 of them are melee, 1 is ranged, I will allow it because they're different enough in my eyes. But maybe the chat will hate it. Who knows? We got ourselves also Chicago on that team, as well as Delius, Delas, as a fire mage on team 2. We got ourselves Bio SP, a rogue with sub rogues build. We got ourselves Name XD, also another sub rogue. Miller Pala coming back in, royalty over here. Manbear Tree adds a feral druid, as well as Brute Captain as a Windwalker monk. It looks like Name is gonna be first up. Sap onto Chicago immediately. And that's gonna be Name from Troll Bane. Getting a beefy open on Chicago. It is an enhanced Shaman. Not a lot of defenses to really work with against a rogue, but lots of healing once they can play the game. Night Phase setup coming out for Name. Not chaining those stuns, but it's just going for max damage. That's going to be a big flash cut for Chicago. Does get interrupted by Name, and that's going to be a freebie cast for Chicago. Getting Frost Wolves in there. Those things do a ton of damage, especially if those things can get up to Name. Look at the damage that it's not, again, not the hardest hitting pet ever, but out of all the pets, this is the strongest. The Frost Wolves are one of the stronger pets that a Shaman can get. Gonna be Frost Shocks for Chicago. Maybe Shadow Steps again. Big Jukes for Name, as he's actually able to maneuver around Chicago. That Earth Elemental is not gonna let you go anywhere though, bud. And Chicago is in a good spot. Does get hit with a blind. Could shrink into the 1 or 2. And Name looking to get a reset. That Earth Elemental should keep him in combat though. Getting a shot onto Earth Alley. I think Chicago will not be able to catch up Name. And I think the Rogue is going to be able to get himself a scot-free reset this time. Chicago had a really good go so far though. Didn't burn the trinket early with the Rogue. And the Rogue tried to use as little of cooldowns as he had to in order to get out of that situation. Did use a blind as well as a smoke bomb. Still holding on to trinket, vanish as well as defensive. So he's still in a great spot. Gabriel, what's up, man? What happened to the mustache, the hair? It'll be back on this. I'll add on this model by Monday, hopefully. Name opening up pretty big onto Chicago, trying to make some damage happen. Big shadow strikes. Chicago goes for that Draenei Rachel for a big kill. There's going to be some more wolves available. A flame wolf and a storm wolf. So he needs to use lava lash as well as storm strike in order to make the damage happen. That's going to be Name vanishing out of sight with an evasion. So might have actually saved that evasion for later, or might have been able to max out evasion a bit more. But there is quite a bit of magic damage for Chicago that goes through. Evasion can only help you so much. So Chicago having those wolves on such short cooldown does help him out a ton. It is a lot better if he is able to get Maelstrom to reduce the cooldown of those wolves even further. But with the Rogue vanishing on a site as often as he does, there's only so much he can do. He is playing Elemental Shield, by the way, so that's interesting. Ele Shield actually gives him Maelstrom. Every time he takes damage from an enemy, he has a pretty high chance to get Maelstrom. Wait, look at the Maelstrom generation he has. Just look at his Wolves cooldown. Every time he gets hit with a Shadow Strike or he uses a hit, it's actually huge. Wait, that might be the play. Elemental Shield. I know every Shaman runs Earth Shield nowadays, but Ele Shield could be okay. Maybe that's what Chicago isn't ghostful for all the time, building up that defensiveness. You know what I mean? Picking up the eyes to hopefully find Name. The Wolves are not really all that smart on their own. They don't really chase after Name unless they get a hit by Chicago. So it's kind of hard to tell where he's at, honestly. So Name does get himself yet another reset. Vanish was used here. Blind available backup, so he does have another reset available. Chicago starting off in the Ghostful form again with Lightning Shield. And it looks like Name is just avoiding those Ghostfuls as best as he can. Playing it extra safe. I don't really know as a rogue if you need to play that safe. It is an enhancement Shaman, but you never really know, right? You never really know. Honestly, maybe, I don't know. I feel like enhancement Shaman for Outlaw rogues, yes, enhancement Shaman heal for a ton, but they're generally squishy. And it's generally I mean, it's not Ascendance or nothing. Blind on Chicago does not have a trinket for this one. I see was getting some damage set up. So maybe Name should be playing very careful with Chicago. We'll see. We'll find out. Maybe Chicago ends up capping out the win anyway. Maybe Name's careful play will get him the win. Who knows? This is the 5v5 1v1 Duels, not 5v5 1v1 losses. Cheap shot on Chicago, going out with a Night Fade damage, trying to make as much of the damage as he can. Chicago looks like they use a Battle Master Trinket to give himself a little bit more health. It's going to get a Flame Shotgun to Name, and the Ghost Wolves are on the prowl. Name got himself sprint. The Wolf is right next to him, almost able to tap him. That's going to be the Night Fade mobility. Does get hit with a slow, but looks of it. I think Chicago was able to get a Frost Shock in there. and Name able to continue running. Smoke bomb coming down. Could maybe Shadow Step next. Chicago trying to walk out of the smoke. Shadow Step into Chicago just to get past him into behind line of sight. That is going to be slow from Chicago. Get a shot onto the Shaman. Could trick it if he wants to. And Name is looking for that reset. Has a actually no way. Chicago able to hit through the wall, denying him the proper reset. With lightning bolts after, Name has Cloak of Shadows available, evasion as well. Cheap shot. Chicago does dip into Ghost Wolf. Doesn't need the stun for too long. Sundering, missing Name, which is unfortunate. Does get himself a bit of a heal. Kick not available for Name, so he's actually out of options. Hex onto the Rogue. Has advantage if things really go bad. Should probably advantage this ASAP. And Name does have, I think, a damage over time ability. A Flame Shock still burning on him. I could be wrong in that one. Chicago, unable to find the Rogue, does go for a bit of a flesh grab. If they can get Name out in the combat, though, it does pick up the eye. Should be able to find him, hopefully, as long as Name stays put. Chicago should be able to see him. If they are lucky enough, checking the underside, picking up the second set of eyes. Just for extra duration, I guess. Name dipping under, trying to see if he can skulk away. This Rogue is getting not found, boys. This Rogue is actually pretty good at the positional stuff. Yeah, so it looks like Rogue is going to get himself a full reset. Shadowblade's available. Blind back up. Has a trinket. So really the Rogue has enough tools to disengage. Does Chicago have enough here? We are at the point of dampening at this point. 5 minutes into this duel, boys. Sap on Chicago. And Name is going to have another go. Is that going to be the big Shadow Blades go, potentially? Cheap shot, not committing Shadow Blades, and that is going to be the Night Fae opener, so it's going to have quite a bit of damage behind it. The Wolves come out. These are the Storm Wolves. You need to get Storm Strikes in order to make that value happen. The Wolves stay up above, and Name is stuck with them. That's going to be Earth Elemental, keeping him in combat too. Has a blind, so he doesn't need to use a lot of things to catch a reset. Trying to get away from the Earth Elemental. Might be able to actually get it out of stealth. It does get into stealth. And Chicago is right out in the open with the Earth Elemental, has that extra health increase, so Name was able to deny having to use a blind in order to get himself that reset. Mobility of Night Fae is still pretty massive, and in a 1v1 situation, unless the enemy got crazy good slows, it is really hard. For Chicago, I think he most of the times is using Flame Shock to get the dots on the Rogue, but I think honestly Frost Shocks might be more value, just to deny any of that extra mobility, because he's going to move quick anyway. He's going to move with that Night Fae ability. Name popping off some cooldowns, so Shadow Blades with this one does have the Orc Racial rolling. Chicago isn't Ghost, so to take a lot of that frontal damage. And Chicago needs a bit of recovery. Is dipping low little by little. That's the heals coming out. The Earth Elemental doing some damage. Wolves should be available very, very soon. And the Rogue goes to disengage as soon as his offensives are gone. Try to get away. The Wolves are on the prowl. Leaping in. Shadow Step to Chicago. Do the Wolves come back up? It looks like everything is trying to catch him. Does sneak in a lightning bolt from his side. Able to stay next to Name. That's going to be blind on Chicago, but the pets are on him. Evasion is up. Has advantage if he doesn't want to get a reset. The pets do despawn. And I think Name is going to be able to get himself yet another reset. Looking to get a sap in Chicago immediately. This Rogue got them resets, dude, for days. How many resets has been so far, man? That's been a bunch, man. Chicago so far able to do work, though. No Earth Element Earth Shield either. So that is changing the meta a little bit for the duels. Massive Shadow Strike from Name. I wonder if he's not running the crit Lego. Maybe he's the big Shadow Strike Lego nowadays. Potentially. The Rotten. To get the rotten damage going on. Chicago popping Battle Master Trinket to give himself a little bit extra health increase. And that's going to be Name. As soon as he's out of cooldowns, backs out completely. Just going for a full reset. But that's going to be pets on him. The Wolves are back of the prowl. Chicago needs to keep the slows rolling. Cloak of Shadows is up for Name. You want to make sure to tag him with something as soon as the Cloak of Shadows falls apart. The Wolves still chasing after him. The Wolves are keeping him in combat. He might be able to get away from Chicago, but the Wolves are on him for the time being. If he can somehow get a Frost Shock in or get close enough to melee through the wall, you might be okay. Does he get it? He does not. Try to see if he can get him out. Does get the Rogue out, actually. Smoke Bomb dropping down trinkets out of it. Does have a Shadow Step. Trying to see if he can get away from Chicago. Do you have a slow? He does have a slow. I think it's time waiting for Name, and does get slammed down at the end of it all. Oh my goodness. Slammed down at the end of that run, and my Lord Paladin going out to give a nice friendly cordial bow with Chicago, dude. But doesn't go too far. Combat begins immediately. Not wasting any time. We're getting up there and dampening. Big damage out of my Lord Paladin. Flesh Cup available for Chicago. Try to use the DR. Try to go for Hex to my Lord. Probably going to trinket it. Immediate trinket. Has still lots of damage. Chicago trying to heal through it. Unable to do anything so far. And that's going to be last verdict by my Lord Paladin. Clamping him down. Clamping down Chicago. And taking himself a W. Next up is going to be a Moonfella from Cairn. Going for a bit of a disengage, trying to get away from my Lord Paladin. Got them pets and nades. And Milord Pal gonna go for turn evil. That pet is an undead, giving Milord Pal opportunity to fear that thing. Kill commands still go through, but the auto attacks don't. And actually, I think with Moonfella, he might not be able to use the pet defensives, like Master's Call, as well as Sack. So you are limited in what you can work with. Shielded in sub for Milord Pala, using the pet to generate some resources. Stun into Moonfella, has a trinket if he needs to. There goes that pet Sack. Has himself Seraphim, stun into the pet. That's verdict's coming through, but the Sack still already is in play. Freezing trap into Milord Pala. Looks like no bubble out of this man, as he does hold Seraphim behind his back, trying to twirl it. Breaking his bones that way. Judgment do keep Moonfella in combat. That's going to be a final reckoning. Taking down Moonfella. Try to go for as much damage as he can. Oh! What was that damage? He just wiped out. What was that damage? Wait a second. What was that? He just took down Milord Pala. Didn't even give him a chance to bubble in one swift swoop. Is it playing the latent poison Lego? Is that what that is? Yo! I didn't expect that. Oh my god, I was expecting Bubble or Bob, and those still were available. He just took him out of nowhere. Moonfella going for a turtle shell. Might need to go for a manic bandage. I don't know if he has any. It looks like Manbear Tree with that Necrolord just rots him down. That Necrolord Feral, by the way, looking like a lot of fun in PvP. Gonna be a stun for Morgren as it goes for a knockback onto Manbear Tree. Barkskin is available for the Druid as Wargren does eat a bit of dot damage. You gotta wait out until the Frenzy is available. So I think he tried to see if he could juke Manbear Tree by jumping off the ledge. Although Manbear Tree knew, like, he's the one who put up the Orsals there. That's still quite a bit of damage for Wargren though. Does have those kill shots going through. I think he is Venthyr on his Hunter now, not Kyrian. So that's going to be quite a bit of kill shot damage. Manbear Tree landing a stun. It's going to be tricky for Wargren. Get himself a bit of a heal. Both of them are still tussling and muscling. Freezing Trap does slow down Manbear Tree for a second though. Try to keep the Hunter's Mark on the Druid in case he ever goes for reset. Does have the Flayed shot, so it's going to be lots of kill shots. And Manbear Tree does get hit with a horror for a second with that teleport for Wargren. He's trying to set up some bleeds onto Wargren with a Tiger's Lust and trying to maintain himself as best as possible. Wargren eating quite a bit of that bleed. I think it's only a matter of time. Like, Manbear Tree, I think, wins this. Unless Wargren can somehow remove those bleeds or get a heal. It looks like he lives with just the smallest amount of health possible. Try to go for a camo if at all available. Does get it. If Manbear Tree only got a Moonfire or summon one of those pets, he definitely had the range for a Moonfire. If only done that, then he would have denied that camo hard. But that's gonna be Wargren getting himself a quick escape. Well done. Yo, Dal, what happened to my 1v5 against the E-boys? Yo. That one, I mean, Milord Pala came out of nowhere, swooped it out of the way. Chicago did he? We gotta get Night King in here, man. Night King, Milord Pala will get all the E-boys in here, dude. Manbear Tree with the Hunter's Mark out in the open, looking to pick up the eye. Wargren hanging out, getting as much of that camo healing as possible. He's gonna have to be extremely careful whenever the dots come out from Manbear Tree. Like, those dots are brutal. Definitely a freezing trap waiting for him. He knows where Wargren is at. Hits him with the Moonfire. Wait, he's playing a full dot build. He's playing Moonfire and Catform build, right? Or can you now use Moonfire and Catform without the talent? I think he is using the talent. I think he's going for a full dot thing. Moonfire, Rip, Rake, maybe even the Lego that buffs all those things while the Necro ability is up. Try to get all those dots out of Wargren. Hits him with a bash. He is rotting down. The bites are going to come through with it afterwards. Into a freezing trap with a Manbear Tree. Wargren taking a bit of the damage. Looks like the big bleeds weren't used. I think Manbear Tree was just trying to see if he could bite through Wargren. And the Hunter is going to have to get a little bit more aggressive there. Getting those interrupts on the regrowths is going to be helpful too. Needs to get a big stun, big go onto Manbear Tree. Wall is available for the Druid, so that's still lots of defenses up. Manbear Tree building combo points. Does he have the big Necrolord setup for Wargren? Looks like maybe the dots have set in. Nope. Somewhat. Interrupting Manbear Tree on a cast. Trying to go for Flesh Cap. Can't interrupt that one. That's going to be easy shields. Not much you can do. Actually, even CC immunity and bites through the freezing trap after immuning it. Thelis is going to be up next as a Draenei Fire Mage versus Manbear Tree. We'll see how it works out for him. Even might be able to do something. Fire Mages generally have pretty good damage to bust through. As someone like a Feral, gonna go put it up with a Combust, actually. Trinket? What is going on? Manbear Tree getting the Necrolord set up onto Thelis. And looks like Thelis is just melting. Look at his health. I mean, with Manbear Tree joining the fight, that's just extra damage. That's gonna be cauterized immediately. Ice Block potentially? Literally backpedaling? What? Unfortunate. I think Thelos was not prepared to fight a feral. I think that's what's happening. iFox is going to be up next. Lands a freezing trap onto Manbear Tree immediately. Throwing out them chakrams. You guys let me know, watching Beastmaster Hunters and Survival Hunters, is that basically the same class nowadays? Because they all kite. Or are they different enough where we can have like 2 survivals and 1 BM? Or like 2 BM and 1 survival? Or I guess Marksman and BM is very, very similar too. What do you guys think? Thelos is 199. Dude, he's trying. Manbear Tree taking lots of damage from iFox though. Trinket by the Hunter. Manbear Tree, does he have survivability? Looks like iFox does take him out. Utilizing all the damage he can. Looks like some kind of dodge is still left on him or the pet. Unable to get a full camo. Is Brew Captain going to give him that reset? Is he going to give him that honorable duel? Looks like he tried to. He walked at him. Maybe he'll still let him. Looks like he's trying to let him. It looks like he's trying to let him know, hey, you get an opportunity here. You get an opportunity. There we go. He's given an opportunity. He's not trying to fight him immediately. Trying to give him the honorable duel. Even though iFox has a bit more of a reactive, aggressive play. He's literally giving you opportunity to catch up. 15 minutes into the duel, quite a bit of dampening. And it looks like iFox, I think he just wants to go. I think iFox just wants to go and get the duel running. And there it is, man. iFox, if you're fine playing at lower health, he gave you the opportunity. But if you're fine just taking the duel onto the next one and just like, you know what? Let's just keep this thing going. Let's just get it up on. Bruce still is giving you opportunity, man. He's still letting you recover. He wants to make it as real of a duel as it can be. Brew, he wants to fight, man. Give him the fight. If you don't want to fight, give him the fight. Rolling into a freezing trap that does break through the pet. Lexup Karma immediately with a... He sent everything at iFox. Is that going to be enough, though? I think it might be enough. Big Fang Death of iFox with barely health. Turtle Shell at like 1 health. Summon breaks his Turtle Shell, though. Heal while he tried to heal in Turtle. I think it's over. Door of Shadows. Taken out. I think he knew. iFox knew he had no cooldowns there. See, maybe he wanted the duel to get started ASAP. Looks like Manbear Tree with them 3 kills. Nice. Just about everybody here gets... Actually, everybody gets to play, huh? Let's go, dude. Let's go. You guys want to go in again or swapping some dudes out? What are you guys thinking? I'm Smelly. What's up, fam? You got a group? Can I get a duel at 6? You're more than welcome to my guy. Always welcome. Always welcome.